The beautiful woman did not wear underwear to the supermarket. She also asked the men around her to help her. She wanted to buy a bottle of wine but didn't know which one was good. The man looks at the beautiful girl in front of him, instantly a little tempted. He talks about her and recommends her with enthusiasm. Looking at the girl's back, he still felt like he couldn't finish, but after the man said goodbye, the girl stood at the door waiting for a taxi, but the driver missed the appointment. Angry girl cursed out profanity. The man took the opportunity to talk to her. He asks the girl if she wants a ride with him. The girl agrees, but when the car arrived at the girl's rented apartment, but she frowned and did not want to go back because her roommate is gay, always trying to stick to her. This is exactly what the man wants. He offered to come over to his house, but the girl didn't agree. After getting out of the car, the man's eyes were still glued to the girl. He saw the girl hesitant to go in. He drove the car back. This time the girl got into his car, but he would never have imagined, because of this encounter, he will lose all his money. Arriving at the man's house, the girl was surprised to find this man is actually a top tycoon. Not only does he live in a luxury villa, but also a wall full of high-quality wine collection. The man carefully selected a bottle to taste with the girl. Under the effect of alcohol, the two soon fell in love. The next morning, when the man opened his eyes, the girl had already left. He couldn't help but look back at the girl's smile. In the evening, he came to the bar where the girl worked to find her. The girl was also very happy to see the man. After work, she planned to go home with him. Just then the man found a thief is breaking into the car. He quickly went up to stop it. He didn't expect the thief to be so arrogant. He even scolded him. The girl's body is hot. Personality is also the same. Threw the bottle in her hand directly at him. This annoyed the thief, rushing forward to strike the man to protect the girl. Right leg was wounded. The thief escaped neatly, but the man's right leg was put in a plaster cast. The girl felt very guilty, said that if she had not been too impulsive would not be so, and said she was willing to take care of the man until he recovered. What's not to like about that? The girl was in the shower. The man went through her bag. There she found a photo of her and her roommate. The man looked a little familiar. Suddenly remembered the TV reported the death of the girl's roommate. A wave of uneasiness rushed through the man's mind. After showering, the girl was eating fried chicken. The man asked her if she knew that her roommate had died. The girl didn't say anything. She finished sucking her finger before speaking.
That would be stupid of me.
It turns out that this encounter was the girl's plan. She first approached her roommate to capture her heart. She used the roommate's window to observe the man's every move. She patiently observed for more than 3 months. She was able to get a good idea of the man's preferences and habits. But unfortunately, her roommate found out, so she silenced him. The man was angry and shouted at the girl to get out, but the girl took out the stun gun she had prepared. The man is knocked out. The man is tied to a wheelchair by his perverted girlfriend.
Fuck you, you lying fucking bitch!
Man is kicked to the ground. The girl, who was so sweet and gentle, has taken off her disguise. She picks up a small electric drill and approaches the man. She asked him to tell her bank card PIN. If he did, the 8-digit deposit will be lost. The man's mouth was stiff. The girl drilled the drill through the plaster and into the man's leg. The man's whole body was cramping with pain. Can't even control his saliva. Finally, he gave in. The girl transferred his savings. 10 years of struggle all empty. Then the girl asked the man to liquidate the stocks in his name, converted into dollars. She took out a pair of scissors and cut the tape on the man's right hand. The man seized the opportunity to choke the woman to death. Both of them fell to the ground at the same time. At the critical moment, the girl reached for the scissors next to her, stabbed the man's left shoulder. The man did not give up the struggle. She took out her phone and showed him a small video. In the video, his wife was playing with his daughter. Nothing is more important than the life of a family member. The man gave in, but the girl didn't think that was enough. She wanted to eat up all the man's possessions. The girl took pictures of the man's antique paintings. She sends it to a friend for an estimate. Soon the girl's friend came to his door. The man looked at the thief who smashed his car the day before. It turns out that the two of them are a team.
Stripping them down to the studs.
The girl still had a smile on the corner of her mouth, but the man already felt the chills. After the two of them left the house with the famous painting, an old man sneaked up to the villa. He smashed the window with a stone. The phone in the girl's hand immediately received an alert. Without saying a word, she turned around and rushed back. The old man smashes the window and enters the villa. The man asked him for help, but the old man is not a good man either. He said he would pay $1 million. Turns out, he's the girl's landlord. He saw what the girl did through the telescope. He also wanted to take advantage of the situation to get a piece of the pie. The man pointed out the words on the wall with his eyes. He said it was worth $8 million. You can take it. The old man just went to pick the painting. The man told him to call the police, but the old man said he didn't have a cell phone because the phone will make people get Alzheimer's. By this time, the girl had returned. The old man tried to run away, but the girl had already used her cell phone to automatically close the door lock.
Your hopes up, right?
The old man took out a 40 cm dagger. The girl smiled faintly, pulled out a 40 machete, allowed him to run 39 meters first.
I have no idea what you...
The old man did not dare to fight. Flee upstairs with the painting in his arms. The girl did not panic at all. Monitor the movement of the old man through the phone. The old man's trembling knife did not swing a few times before the girl was killed by a knife. At the same time, the man dragged his injured foot and fled to the door, trying to escape on his motorcycle, but unfortunately hit a rock and was thrown off. A car braked in front of him. The kind-hearted driver stepped down and helped him into the car, and lent the phone to the man to call the police. But before the phone could be dialed, the man was knocked unconscious by the driver. He was brought back to the villa. Turns out that this man is the girl's stepfather. He was the one who asked the girl to get close to the man with a beauty trick. The girl looked at the man in front of her with interest. She didn't expect him to reveal his true feelings.
Every word that comes out of your mouth is a lie.
Girl laughs at the man who is really a love brain. She loves nothing more than dollars. The man, in addition to savings and stocks, and a small target of bonds in the bank, they have to get the man's fingerprints to get it. Men will never follow them there, but they can cut off the man's fingers. The girl strangles the man's neck. The stepfather pushed the man's hand down on the table. The knife went down hard. Just as they were about to go to the bank, the man's wife came back with his daughter. Although as soon as they entered the house, they felt that something was wrong, but they were little trash in front of the girl. They were immediately imprisoned. The stepfather wrapped the finger in gauze, took the severed finger to the bank, but the identification was successful, but found only a letter there. Turns out the two were in the middle of a divorce. The bonds had been taken by the man's wife. At that moment, the man's daughter climbed through the ventilation duct, opened the door lock from outside. When the girl and stepfather returned home, the man also tried to sneak in, but the man was no match for the muscle-bound stepfather. He was thrown to the ground. The girl pointed a gun at the man and asked him where his ex-wife was. The girl got tired of being pushed and suddenly turned against him. She kills her stepfather. She doesn't want to be manipulated by her stepfather anymore. She wanted to live a life of freedom. But when she was distracted, the man took a knife and hit the girl in the collarbone. He grabbed the phone. He quickly used the phone to call the police and turned off all the lights in the house. He took advantage of the darkness to jump on the girl, but he dragged his injured leg, still cannot fight. At that moment, his wife also rushed out to help. She wrapped her arms around the girl and threw her against the wall, but the wife was also unable to fight. Finally, they embraced each other tightly. The girl grabbed a stick and tried to finish them off. The girl fell to the ground. It was the daughter who did not graduate from elementary school who saved them.